There is no room for negotiations under Moscow's dictates. This is the Ukrainian president's firm response to the news of the German chancellor's phone conversation with the Russian dictator. According to analysts, the surprising move by Olaf Scholz may be dictated by the dire situation of the German economy and an attempt to re-establish business relations with the Kremlin. This was their last meeting. A week later, Putin launched his invasion of Ukraine. Even then, the German chancellor, led by the nose by the Russians, claimed there were chances for peace. Now, almost 3 years and hundreds of thousands of victims of Russian aggression later, Scholz is calling Putin, asking for de-escalation and withdrawal of troops. Olaf's phone call is, in my opinion, the opening of Pandora's box. Now there may be other talks, other phone calls, and these are just words. According to Kiev, Scholz has just played to the Kremlin's dictates. As a former partner, he showed Putin, a war criminal now being prosecuted by the International Criminal Court, that he is still interested in cooperation. This is exactly what Putin has wanted for a long time. It is crucial for him to weaken his isolation, the isolation of Russia, and to engage in negotiations, mere negotiations that will lead to nothing, as he has been doing for decades. To make matters worse, Scholz bragged about this conversation as if to show that Berlin is still in the game. Chancellor Scholz was also followed by the Polish Prime Minister. A while ago, I received a phone call from Chancellor Scholz, who gave me an account of his conversation with Vladimir Putin. I was pleased to hear that the Chancellor not only unequivocally condemned Russian aggression, but that he reiterated the Polish position: nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine. The reaction of the Polish Prime Minister seems surprising to some, especially since Scholz has just talked to Putin about Ukraine without Ukraine. We would rather be interested in the Polish Prime Minister to start thinking about Chancellor Scholz as a partner who has not proven himself in any area and who still longs for the renewal of excellent relations with Russia. Berlin's actions make it clear that despite lies, instrumental use of economic dependencies, and ultimately shocking war crimes, Germany still wants to get along with Putin. The reason may be frighteningly trivial. What's really going on is that in order for Germany not to fall completely, it has to find somewhere to rebuild its losses. And let's be honest, even if the gas supply is through tankers, because in a while it will turn out that they will have to start firing up all the brown coal power plants, because even the French won't be able to supply them with as much energy as they need. It's not entirely clear what Scholz's purpose was in talking to Putin, given that his governing coalition is just now falling apart, and he himself is likely to bid farewell to office in the next few months. Zelensky warns against trying to return to a policy of appeasement toward Russia. This allowed Russia to change nothing in its policy, to do nothing significant, and ultimately led to this war. Now we understand all these challenges. We know how to act, and we want to warn everyone. There will be no Minsk III. What we need is real peace. The issue of Berlin's contact with Moscow is not being commented on by the White House at this time. It is unclear whether Scholz has given Washington, D.C. any advance notice of his plan at all. Germany's move, according to the assessment of some analysts, may stem from concerns about the policies of the new administration in Washington, which could deprive Berlin of a seat at the negotiating table in favor of perhaps Warsaw.